So, yeah, that's as far as I can usually try to describe about that. So, oh yeah, as far as I found out also is the fact that one thing I should probably realize that you guys even remember about the fact that some fans of Splatoon fans might be really worried about the fact that maybe Splatoon 3 will possibly be delayed. It turns out that recently today, or to be more specifically for about 2 days ago also, recently Splatoon 3 finally got its release date and it's gonna be due out at some point on 9th of September in this year. In this case, exactly the same day as the Sega Dreamcast released in North America, where it comes to, I would say a 23rd birthday for the Sega Dreamcast released in North America. So, at the very least, that's something, I guess, where it comes to likely just releasing on the exactly same time, I should say, where it comes to, two things combined. So, one for the celebration, and the other one for the brand new installment of Splatoon. So, yeah, that seems pretty cool, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and use my, actually, let me double check here. I need about roughly 8, because I need to be desperately able to land on the lucky space, but if I do, then I'll be very lucky and able to actually just to swipe everyone else out for the entire board itself. So let's see if I can able to aim this at the right moment in due time. Yes! Yes! I got 8! So that means, yay, I finally managed able to get a chance to land on the lucky space after all these few parts worth noting for. After I didn't seem to able to land on these things on the previous 3 boards. So, yeah, about time for me to able to actually finally land on this space. So, pretty cool, swell stuff, I have to say. So hopefully I'll get myself plentiful of coins and as well as a freebie star if I meet up with the forms of the Shy Guy Conductor. So, this should be a piece of cake for my part. Alright, so let's see what Blooper's gonna land on. He's probably gonna land on, I would say, a red space, because he was literally off by 1 space away from that lucky space again. Despite the fact that he has no stars whatsoever at this point, because obviously I did manage to kick his butt in a duel minigame nonetheless, so... And also with that superior, you know, dodging skills, I've managed able to pull this off. So, relatively speaking, I should be in the top dog when it comes to in the leader for the likes of Shy Guy's Perplex Express so far. Anyways, let's do Gun the Runner again. So, but this time I'm going back onto the team of 3 to able to actually take down the 1 player from the team of 1, basically. Prepare to be shot, Wario. Well, not literally like shot dead or anything, but to be more specifically, just keep on stunning him before he decides to able to keep on climbing up and stuff. So yeah, a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 24th of April today, in this case in 2022 today. We've only just naturally only got about a week left now until we basically moved on to May month, so... And as far as May is concerned, when it comes to game releases and everything, it might be a bit bare bones in comparison to the forms of the upcoming months. To be more specifically, June and July and maybe August as well. And even especially noticeable in September, that sense that we've now finally got ourselves our new release date for the actual Splatoon 3. So it's no longer going to be on 2023's release, unlike Breath of the Wild 2, that's going to be delayed. So, oh yeah, this is the event I was talking about. Basically, Shy Guy Conductor was trying to tell somebody that Holly Cooper was actually got stolen something, and it's always to pay attention to the forms of those criminals on those specific car, and then basically it's your chance to able to find a criminal. I don't know about you, Toad, but I'm pretty sure the last time I spotted Mouse was actually in a cooking cart. So, always need to pay attention to those other, you know, carts or coaches, to be more specifically, so that way you would able to actually get the idea where the actual criminals are. Sometimes it can be randomized, so yeah, that's to be expected at this point. So give me my 3B stars, Shy Guy Conductor. So that way, I will now be on 5 stars. So pretty top notch. Especially as this might actually be a good place to able to actually just to get more stars in particular. Although, keep in mind though, is the fact that if you get too many stars, while you're able to actually let the board game to end, unfortunately though, that the Star Carnival cards does not convert it into so many of those cards you can get. It always usually is based off from how much turns you went through for the entire board. So, like usually if you've done the 20 turn game, you always get 40 cards, and then I believe if you do the 50 turn game, you get 100. So, at least if I'm guessing correctly. So, as you can see, I've managed to purchase myself the Slogo candy, so just in case, I might able to actually give the lucky route another visit, so that way I can able to instantly manage to able to get myself the 6th star, so that'll be worth a while for my part. Alright, so meanwhile, Warrior's gonna able to duel against with, I would classify for saying he's probably gonna go after Blooper, despite the fact that, well, he has no stars at the moment because of me, and on top of all that stuff though, he pretty much wants to guarantee he wants to get more coins, so that way he'll get another star if he eventually meets up with Shy Guy Conductor again, so... Anyway, so let's see what minigame are those two, both Wario and Blooper, about to be playing. And they are playing Lock to Rob. Unfortunately though, I can't really tell about the forms of the rules of this minigame, so yeah, I'm presuming that the computer players will automatically go in there already, so... Excuse me, I got something in my throat there, I do apologize for that. I believe in this minigame right here is the fact that you always have to be sure you need to shoot those different colored mushrooms. To be more specifically, the regular red mushrooms or the green mushrooms. But if you accidentally manage to able to hit the Goomba, you're able to lose points. So, yeah, I think that's as far as the actual minigame itself plays out to be. Even though despite Warrior made a mistake, but regardless of everything else though, it looks like that those two are pretty much neck to neck at the moment when it comes to you know, trying to able to win this minigame though, so... Wait a second. Oh, snap! That was a tie! Because, yeah, if you have the exact same points as each other, then it's basically a tie. So, yeah, how, interesting results there. So, of course, like always, if you somehow come across into a draw, then basically you don't, win anything. So, that's to be expected at this point. But regardless of anything else though, that Wario instantly lands on the red space because, you know, after the dual minigame was ended, then you have to stay put, so... So it looks like Blooper gets a 9, while originally he was expecting to get a 1, so that he can able to land on the lucky space again, but tough luck for you, Blooper, because, well, you just missed it, so... Although nothing matters anyway though, because until the next turn, he will still able to actually guarantee to get that star on the next turn, so... Alright, so once again I'm gonna team up with Blooper again, since Boo-Tang Gallery, so... Ah, so close to play a new minigame, which is Bumper Balloons, but instead we're going back onto the forms of Winner or Dinner again, so... Much prefer just trying to able to win, rather than having, like... Although I don't mind having dinner, especially notable that my favorite supper will always have to be either hot dinner, or in some cases salad with it, because obviously salad is good for me, so that might be to be expected for most people out there, so... Alright, so... Oh, darn it! I just got flinked by that particular piranha plant right there. But that's okay though, because, well, exponentially speaking, that we are doing pretty well when it comes to collecting coins and such. Although, thankfully though, whenever we dive right into Mario Party Superstars, then hopefully the actual movement controls will be a lot more fluid, because obviously in Mario Party Superstars, you're now able to actually have ourselves the actual analog controls, or to be more specifically, the control stick as what's known, so... Because the thing is, in this particular version of Winner or Dinner, you have to rely on the forms of the directional pad for movements, which might be pretty stiff in some scenarios, but either way though, it knows what it is when it comes to controller types. Alright, so it looks like that Toad is going to use the twice candy. I'm guessing he's probably going to aim for the highest number if possible, so 9 and 3 makes 12, so yeah, I guess that makes it pretty obvious. Duo candy for Toad, so I'm guessing he might as well able to save it up for later until God knows if he duel against with me or maybe just someone else entirely, so but we'll just see what happens in the later turns as far as that's been concerned with, so speaking of the forms of those other things worth noting for, I might as well save my Slowgo candy for later. And, darn it, I just got a lame old 2. But that's okay though, because I should be safe behind Toad. So just in case I don't able to actually get into the actual risk assessment for able to lose so many stars. And what is up with anyone else keeps landing on red spaces? Like, I get it because of how the fact that maybe the red star won't come into play, if it's possible or not. But either way though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Alright, so looks like that, yeah, I was right all along. Then Blooper will able to get himself a star again. So after the events when he lost both of them due to I won on the the dual minigame and stuff, so oh yeah, I should probably mention about this as well, I guess, is the fact that in addition with the forms of the Clinoa remasters are usually got the Switch release until specifically this coming July, but also, as far as I'm aware, that the other versions of Clinoa remastered remake trilogy, or no, duology I should say, that's the PS4, PS5, oh come on! Why is it always a battle minigame? Okay, whatever. So, anyways, let's see how much coins we're going to be betting for. Just only 10. Just only 10, because I get a feeling that nobody else actually got that much coins. So, understandable, but hey. So, anyway, let's see. Glacial Meltdown again. But, hopefully we're not going to make that particular minigame dragged on a bit, I will have to admit, but either way, we'll just have to stick around with it, I guess. So, anyway, with the PS4 and the PS5 versions, and Xbox Series X and Xbox One, and even PC versions of Clinoa remasters are also coming on to this July as well. To be more specifically, the 8th of July. So, yeah, it doesn't take that long to able to actually just realize about the actual release dates worth noting for, because I remember back in the forms of it 2 months ago, whenever they finally managed to able to announce the Clinoa duology remasters for the Nintendo Switch. Ah, come on! I was being so hasty. Fine, we're just gonna have to watch either Wario or Blooper to able to win this minigame, so. But here's the thing about this minigame, like I said, I still really wish if it does have a time limit, because the more you spend on this minigame for about 10 minutes or so, it still doesn't show up the actual time limit, so yeah, I kinda wish they were able to have that, but either way, thankfully it doesn't go nearly as long, so it looks like Blooper win on that, so kudos to him, I guess. Well, I still managed to get 2 coins though, and luckily it's just a 10 coin battle minigame, so I don't need to necessarily try to worry about this for the sake of time. Alright, so let's see what Toad is gonna do. He's gonna use his thrice candy. Although, despite the fact that he hasn't got enough coins to able to actually get the star, although I was expecting if he managed able to win on Glacial Meltdown, then he can potentially able to actually get himself a star, but apparently he was off by 19 coins, so yeah, that might be seems worth noting for. And he's actually got the witchy candy, or wiggle candy. I have no idea. It has been a very long while since I actually did manage to read upon the candy item description in this game, so because of that though, well, relatively speaking, it's just the fact that, you know, still focus on the weekends, uploading schedules alike, so... let's double check on the map quickly. I'm usually off by 8, so we're back onto the exact same place, huh? Although, I got 3, so that means I'll land on the blue space, which, that's okay for me. And speaking of such, until the next turn, I should be able to actually use my Slowco candy, so that I need to aim for a 5, so that way, I can instantly manage to head back onto the lucky route again. So Wario got himself the bit-sized candy, and he was off by 4 coins to get the star, but luckily, he'll go back down again. So yeah, I think this little event right there can be sometimes useful because obviously if you accidentally do not get the star by didn't get enough coins, then luckily that'll be the lucky spot for you. So at least thankfully that the actual the travel to the event will be a bit faster than you think. Alright, we got another 4-player minigame, which to be expected at this point, so... And let's see what minigame are we playing next. As it seems, we are playing... Root and Madness again. I think the last time we played this was actually in Goomer's 3D Boardwalk, which I somehow lost that minigame last time because... The only thing that's questionable about that minigame though is the fact that I just hate the fact that the computer players always get very lucky sometimes when it comes to likely pushing forward and stuff. But regardless of such though, let's see if I can able to win this time. Well, I can definitely tell you right off the bat, we're actually doing pretty well. Speaking of doing well actually, when it comes to game releases, including DLC expansions, that I can definitely suffice to say that June for this year might actually be a bit bigger. So because obviously we are getting Mario Strikers Battle League Football, and of course Sonic Origins, and of course DLC expansions for not only for Monster Hunter Rise, in this case Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, but also Cuphead or in this case the delicious last course. So yeah, that should be exciting for June, along with the films of the new Lightyear movie, which, speaking of that particular movie, we actually got ourselves our new trailer for the Lightyear movie, which I'll discuss more now in a second, because we have the last 5 turn event. So in this case, we all know the drill. So let's see who is in the current position, standings. So I'm in first, so far. And Toad was in second place, Blooper was in third, and Wario was in last. So it's time to do the usual champ charity, and of course that he will give the Dulo candy to Wario basically. So yeah, nothing new from here. If you ever experienced the previous 3 boards before, although, but if we get into the 5th board in the game, that he'll give us a little bit differently, so... But then again though, we'll have to wait and find out and during at some point until the next weekend, so... And of course, as always, coins pop up, so yeah, let's get the forms of the last 5 turns on the roll. So, let's see what Toad is gonna get. He gets a miserable 1, so... And there's another happening space right there. If you stand on this specific spot, and if you get hit by that particular random object, then basically it takes you back to the start, and you lose coins if you get hit by that. So, yeah, there's quite a lot of board events in this particular board, which, still, like I said, this is the reason why that this board is easily, without doubt, my favorite board in the entire game. And I can appreciate that the fans agree with me on this, so... Alright, perfect. So that way, I'll go back to the lucky space again, and get ourselves our 6th star. And hopefully I'll get even more coins here and there, so... I think to get coins for this board will be also very easy as well, assuming about the fact that, well, you can only spend on coins for certain candies, and of course the star at the end of that particular train, so... Yeah, that's to be expected. Alright, Blooper, what are you gonna get? You get a 4, Oh, wait a second. Does that mean he'll land on... Oh, what do you know? He lands on the DK space. So yeah, like I said before, if you land on the DK space, basically the DK train will decide to pop up. And then basically Donkey Kong is now the actual a driver, or specifically like, I don't know what you would call it. So, and then if you meet up with DK, you're able to get a star for free as well. So, yeah, that should be worth a while. Alright, another 4-player minigame, so let's see how we're going to be playing next. In the nick of time. I don't know what the last time we actually played this minigame though. I'm guessing it's like, DK's Treetop Temple or something? Mind you, it has been about a couple of weeks. Oh no, wait, scratch that. It was in, Goomba's Booty Boardwalk. Yeah, I remember now. I almost first thought I was get confused at first when it comes to, the last time we played some certain minigames as far as this is concerned with, so... Alright, oh. Just gotta make sure I need to turn the Wii remote in the right direction. There we go. So yeah, with all that being said though, it's just the fact that, well, I'm very happy about the fact that with Splatoon 3 finally got a release date, you know, with the 9 September release and stuff like that. But all it needs left now is just basically we are still waiting for Sonic Frontiers, and especially notable with Mario Plus Rapid Sparks of Hope. And that would be about it when it comes to the majority of 2022 for its release department. So, well, I'm sure enough there might be still more possibilities of certain announcements out there. To be more specifically with that rumored 3D Mario game or a rumored 3D Donkey Kong game, if depending on the forms of speculations. Or maybe, just even maybe, we can able to actually see some more Kirby stuff in the future for this year, because obviously it marks the 30th anniversary of the Kirby series after all. So, actually gotta think about it, we've only got about, I won't classify for saying exactly 4 days left until Kirby's Dream Land, the very first Kirby's adventure on the entire Kirby franchise. Expecting about the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that game will be officially become 3 decades old. So, yeah, pretty swell, I have to say. So, of course, he did manage able to steal something from Blooper, so in this case, Toad gets, I would say, a Thwomp candy, so, yeah, to be expected. So, meanwhile, at the Lucky Route, which I am currently on, so let's see if I can get another 8. Sweet. And I think I might as well land on the blue space, for that matter. But what I was to say is this, we're able to hit back into the actual board, so... 6 stars all in all. How about that? Along with 104 coins I've managed to got. So I'll be rich by then. Oh, and speaking of the forms of Mario Strikers Battle League Football, recently I've managed able to pre-order the game, along with the forms of a pretty satisfying poster. So hopefully I'll try to able to sort that poster up, and join that later on throughout the new forms of this year. Although I still haven't hooked up my Metroid Dread poster yet, because at the moment right now, I'm running out of space for my wall posters to be placed on. And then not only that, the actual sticker labels for, you know, the walls and stuff like that without getting any paint off, so... So it looks like Wario might be the only one meet up with DK, of course, because, well, he was obviously right near to the very end of this particular, coach part right there. So exponentially, he was now going to be on 2 stars, so... Kudos to you, Wario, I guess. And yeah, he usually says that every time when he obtains the star. However, if you try to able to utilize the taunt feature as Wario, something interesting happens, and especially noticeable, it's kind of hilarious as well, that basically he just gets like saying like, losers, and all that stuff. If you try to keep on shaking the Wii remote, if you somehow manage to do a a taunt feature. So because of that though, yeah, I do like that. Even though originally I was expecting to try to able to select Wario until the next board, but unfortunately though, it might be a bit too late for now. So because of that though, although I really wish, but maybe we should probably able to save him up and join at some point in the finale board in Mario Party 8, just like it evolves of how it doesn't on any other Mario Party Let's Plays, ever since in, you know, Mario Party 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, DS, and especially noticeable with 9, Island Tour, 10, Star Rush in certain boards, and minigame match mode, and Super Mario Party. But let's just say until when it gets to the point until Mario Party Superstars roll around, then for our Let's Plays department on that game, then we pretty much expected what's to come. Alright, Carter Sphere again. So let's see if I can get another new record if I somehow manage to able to do, you know, pretty good driving skills when it comes to like trying not to go over towards the bunker or to the actual grass. So, or alternatively, I just simply have to let go of the 2 buttons, so just in case I can able to get an exact movement quicker for able to actually just drive around the track. So that'll be my pro tip if you decided able to actually just go for this minigame within under 45 seconds or less. But regardless of such though, that much like the evolves of how it doesn't on any other Mario Party games, to be more specifically Mario Parties 1 through 7, at least specifically on the NTSC counterparts, oh, we got ourselves another new record, but this time it was under 45 seconds. So nicely done for my part. So anyway, because you know, depending on what region you lived in, either if you managed to play Mario Party 1 through 8, to be more specifically in the NTSC versions, in the Americans or the Japanese release, the amount of time you can get for depending on what new records you might get, sometimes differs depending on the speed of the game or anything else like that, because obviously in the NTSC versions obviously runs at 60 Hz mode. However, on the PAL European regions of the actual games between, you know, Mario Party 1 all the way up to Mario Party 8, that we pretty much locked at 50 Hz mode. So because of that though, because you know, the amount of time you probably might come across in 2 differs, so that seems understandable in some situations, but it knows where it stands. But look at that, we got 20, so how's that for that? Especially noticeable about the fact that there's a good thing we've aimed for 20 for that particular dice roll, because, you know, one of those films is going to be 20 years old this year, to be more specifically Die Another Day, full of James Bond and stuff, and on top of all that stuff though, Lilo and Stitch as well, and all the other films for that matter as well. So I would like to able to name quite a few of them on top of my head, but I've got nothing to say. Alright, so let's go ahead and select yes, so that way I can able to get myself my 7th star. So yeah, it feels like I basically swiped everyone in this entire board so far, because believe me, I felt very lucky. At least specifically that I've managed able to get myself some pretty decent rolls most of the time when it comes to getting, you know, running star alike. Oh, what's this? Oh, I see, it's this event again. So yeah, erratic right there, that's perfectly fine in the UK version. Unlike the other release of this game, in the UK version, that basically the S word is very offensive. So you probably already know what to expect, because obviously I'm not going to say it, because otherwise I'll get demonetized if I say it too many times. Unlike Sonic and Piglet, like I said, that apparently those two accidentally say that word on Mario Party 10, so because of that though, yeah, I have no idea why they just say that. Just why. Well, that's a pretty cool 8-bit rendition of Wario right here. Although, mind you, for some reason, I keep thinking about the forms of, although it could be pretty much like equivalent to let's just say, an 8-bit sprite of Wario from the likes of the forms of Super Mario Maker and stuff. Well, almost comes close though, because obviously it's going to be inspired by WarioWare Inc. outfit for the likes of the forms of Wario himself or something, so... Jeez, it looks like Blooper usually has some huge vendetta against Toad for some reason. Although, mind you, about the fact that all he really does, he just likes to steal a candy from him, so... Alright, so speaking of Toad, we're face off against with Toad in which specific minigame are we going to be playing? Mind you, we've already played every single 1 vs 3 minigames now, so regardless of such though, let's go for grabbing gold again. And I believe that last time that Koopa Troopa didn't show up at all, once we joined in this minigame, so... I wonder if you might as well show up this time. Well, depending if, how much repeats of this minigame will you come across into. Alright, so just have to be very careful right here. Unfortunately, I'm going to be on the top portion, because the top portion on the team of 3 might be a bit tricky in my eyes, just because if I somehow accidentally get hit by those spiny shells and stuff like that, obviously that I'll get the invincibility frames and then just, you know, let the coins went through my blue basket, but that's okay, because although despite the fact that we're off by 1 coin from that maximum potential, but that's okay, because either way though, I will still guarantee to get myself a minigame star if that usually comes into play, so nice. Alright, so I believe we're on the last 2 turns already, so let's see how things is gonna, you know, turned out and all that stuff. So it looks like Toad is gonna once again crush Blooper and stuff like that, or maybe trying to screw up Blooper again. So, and sure enough, he did manage to crush him. Although the only thing is worth noting for, he was off by 4 coins, able to get the next star. So, oh dang! Looks like we got ourselves a Bowser space. And I get the horrible feeling that Blooper might be the only one trying to meet up with Bowser, so... And unfortunately though, since he only got 1 star, so that means if he meets up with Bowser, well, say goodbye to his star. And yeah, this is the point I was talking about. If you accidentally manage to able to trigger the Bowser space on the most of the boards in the game, basically... Actually, no matter what though, let me go ahead and use my duo candy, so just in case if the candy star comes into play, and then I should be able to actually use certain candies more often. So yeah, the Bowser theme will constantly play over and over again if you're able to actually spend on the turn. So as a result though, it only happens on, let's just say, in King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, for Pitfalls, and especially noticeable in Shy Guy's Perplex Express. So as a result though, because unlike the other boards, that basically though is the fact that the Bowser theme only plays when Bowser appears and all that stuff, and that will be about it. From the likes of the forms of DK's Treetop Temple, when he decides to move the star space someplace else, and especially noticeable with the forms of the actual jumping over the Plot of Boo's event in Goomba's Booty Boardwalk, and other boards in general for Koopa's Tycoon Town, and especially noticeable with Bowser's Warped Orbit. So, but regardless, I still find the theme really awesome to listen to, but sometimes it gets a bit repetitive every once in a while in 2 boards specifically, but it knows what it is. So it looks like Blooper's star has been taken from Bowser, of course, and after when you meet up with Bowser, it'll just go back into its regular train. So, yeah, that's basically how this goes. Alright, so 2 vs 2 minigame again. So let's see if we can able to actually just get the last 2 minigames out of the way. Like, bumper balloons or lean, mean, ravine. But, nope, we're going to go on to Grabby Gridon. So, I guess that's that. Oh yeah, and also worth noting for is the fact that, relatively speaking, it's just the fact that I'm pretty sure we almost at the halfway point on, the Astro tour from the likes of the Mario Kart Tour event. So, but I will discuss more details about the forms of what the next tours are going to be from, you know, Mario Kart Tour and stuff like that, until specifically whenever we get to, you know what I mean, for, at the very end of this month, or the beginning of next month, which appears to be April. So, yeah, we pretty much expect how this is gonna turn out, so... And I think, kind of think about it, only forms of the Japanese version of Splatoon 3, when it comes to release date, is also going to be coming on 9th of September as well. So, yeah, it's kind of strange about the fact that on the likes of the forms that in the first game, when it comes to the release date department for Splatoon 1, obviously that came out, I think it was in sometime in June, wasn't it? Mind you, I haven't exactly looked upon that much of the first Splatoon for quite some time. Mind you, I might try to consider doing a Let's Play of Splatoon 1 eventually next year. Or something like that for that matter. And, but I do remember about the fact that Splatoon 2 came out during the forms of July. But now that Splatoon 3 actually comes out in September. Because it was originally going to be on the August release, but it's already too late for that. So because of that though, yeah. In the end though, that's basically we've now actually got the rest of the Splatoon trilogy when it comes to release dates department. So, okay, so it looks like that Toad is going to use his Duo Candy to, what else? Compete against with Blooper. So, gee, it looks like that both Wario and Toad doesn't seem to able to overly keen on Blooper that much. But I'm sure that Blooper will get his vengeance back again, well, depending on what minigame are they going to be competing against into. So in this case, we have Spectre Inspector. So basically it's like, we got to find these familiar CPUs and stuff like that. Or to be more specifically, well, let's just say the forms of NPCs and stuff like that is what I meant to say for this point. And unfortunately though, just like Rob to Rob, I can't seem to able to look upon the rules. But basically, in this minigame right here is the fact that we're going to be wandering around in this dark room, and it's your chance to able to actually find any 3 of the NPCs and stuff like that. However, if you saw those familiar Luigi's Mansion ghosts, these do not count at your point. So, yeah, because I think there was actually 2 Luigi's Mansion ghosts you might able to stumble across. Like, for instance, there was the regular orange one, and as well as the yellow ghost that is usually inspired by when he tosses the actual purple bomb right at you, if you ever played Luigi's Mansion before. So, yeah, that's to be expected. So it looks like that, well, Blooper actually wins. So, I'm not exactly sure what rewards he might get. I think my guess it will be stars or coins. Well, at least we'll find out as soon as that particular ending screen is finished. But yeah, it's nice to see that little Luigi's Mansion reference in a Mario Party game, along with the forms of EGAD and all that stuff, or Professor EGAD rather, from the likes of technically speaking in both Mario Party 6 for its actual board, and the actual the vacuum orb inspired by EGAD's design from Mario Party 7. So thanks to the forms of that particular icon, for I've managed to able to do a double dip closer up on certain Google images and stuff. So alright, let's go ahead and use the last duo candy, so just in case if the candy star comes into play. So mind you, I don't think I can able to actually bump into any opponents, assuming if I manage able to get ourselves a good dice roll. 3 and 3, double 3s, but seems kind of worthless to me anyway. And also kind of worthless as well, because I've seemed to land on this happening space, which actually triggers Holy Koopa wants some candy, but I don't have enough candy, so I'm basically bankrupted with candy, so whoever needs those. Alright, so Wario, he's gonna land on, I would say, a blue space. So, yeah, to be expected at this point. So yeah, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day. that you guys are very happy right now about the fact that Splatoon 3 finally got its release date on 9th of September this year. Because for me, I'm pretty excited for it. But on the other hand though, there is that one in particular YouTube channel out there called TH Shine, which is basically it's like a criticism for Nintendo games every now and then, that for some reason he say on one of those posts saying about the fact that Splatoon 3 is pretty horrible. And I was like, what? Well, for what I've seen the gameplay footage on that particular Turf War trailer, that what I've noticed is the fact that it's like Splatoon 2 all over again, except with the new environments you can go into. And on top of all that stuff though, what I've noticed that the actual font for the game of Splatoon 3 is very identical to Splatoon 2. But regardless of such though, that's as far as I can usually try to describe it, so I just have no idea why that he just say something like that. Although I'm not gonna able to have a huge conversation with that front, because everyone else is entirely opinion related, so that's perfectly fine, I'll accept that. Alright, time for the final results in Shy Guys Perplex Express. Obviously I will win this no matter what, because obviously I basically just swiped everyone else in this entire board. So let's check out the bonus stars, shall we? So let's see what bonus stars we might come across. Minigame star, obviously me, because I am the god of minigames. Especially notable that, well, some of the minigames are really damn good, but most of them are kind of bad, I guess. Alright, Candy Star, I don't know who's gonna get this. I'm pretty sure it was me. Well, it's a good thing I managed to use that last candy on the last turn, so nicely done for my part. And lastly, we have the Green Star. I don't know who ever actually got this star. And let's see, it's gonna be Wario. Huh, interesting. I might have a look at the forms of the actual detailed results, so just in case of how many spaces I was a little bit off by when it comes to the actual happening spaces. But regardless of such though, you know who the winner is. In Shy Guys Perplex Express. In this case, my favorite board in the entire game, which is none other than me, of course. In this case, Hammer Bro. I'm very glad I'm actually going to be playing as him, because he is my main in both Mario Party 8 and Super Mario Party. So yeah, he's now the Superstar, which again, before he gets into Super Mario Party, then I'm very glad he was become playable again. But until in Mario Party Superstars, he's no longer playable again, which I found was a little bit odd. So anyways, minigames, pretty much got it. Oh jeez, if the Shopping Star comes into play, I will be definitely getting the Shopping Star. And yeah, I used 9 of those candies, and Toad was actually pretty close to me. And Running Star, I would've got that, because I'm sure enough that the dual candy does count for the movements, I guess. And Blooper could have got the Red Star, because he landed on 7 of these things. So, yeah, that seems quite a lot. And Wario landed on 5. I was literally 2 off. So, speaking of 2, I've landed on 2 lucky spaces. And, well, 1 DK space has been landed, and 1 Bowser space has been landed. So, yeah, with that being said though, pretty awesome, sweet victory. So with that being said though, we'll have the endings up here. So join me next weekend for more of Let's Play of Mario Party 8. That is the fact that we'll head over to the next board, which is Koopa's Tycoon Town. So that'll be exciting for fans. So I'll see you guys on next weekend. Later fellas.